Welcome to AMA Ask Me Anything session with the founders of Vyom. Today we have Kshitij, who is our founder and CEO, and Aditya, who is our founder and COO. So let's get this started. So my first question is to you, Aditya. What is Vyom and what are we building?
With Vyom, what we are trying to do is to stop the constant reinvention of the wheel that happens in the robotics space. So unlike the PC space where you have something like Windows, like the smartphone space where you have an Android, in the robotics space, every OEM, a manufacturer, essentially starts developing their software stack from scratch. They use a bunch of open source, they develop very particular functionalities for their particular form factor and platform. And of the over 5,000 manufacturers in the world, you will see 5,000 flavors of these software stacks. This reinvention of the wheel, we think, is the cause for a variety of symptoms which lead to robotics not being where you would expect it to be. For example, less than 95% of the actual use cases are truly autonomous. That is because those solutions are not as developed as you would want them to be. There is barely any ecosystem. There are 5,000 silos, but no platform where a third-party developer, for example, can develop a solution that can be used by a variety of OEMs and for a variety of use cases. This is what we are trying to solve with Vyom. We are developing an operating system for autonomous robots and UAVs.
Okay, so ROS, which is an open source operating system that already exists in the market. So how are we differentiating Vyom from that?
ROS is not an operating system at all. It's a misnomer. ROS is a great piece of software which acts as a middleware and a communication layer between different parts of that operating system which should have been there. We are building the entire operating system. ROS is an essential and important part of what we are building, but it's still a small part. With the operating system, what people need is one integration with different kinds of hardware and software, and an entire infrastructure layer behind what an operating system has to be. For example, without Google services, Android wouldn't be what it is right now. And as with all of open source software, that infrastructure layer does not exist with us. And hence, we being an enterprise play, want to build an entire operating system with that proper infrastructure and something which will make things plug and play rather than having to just use React, for example, for Android development. So we are building the entire layer.
How are the customers reacting to the product? How has their validation been like?
The overall feedback has actually been pretty great. What we are doing is doing that hard work of building that boring, important infrastructural layer. Our customers are passionate robotic builders. They love making the controls happen on how these robots or UAVs move. They are still doing that. They don't have to deal with how different sensors or peripherals interact with the platform. We are doing that boring part. We are also giving them a bunch of out-of-the-box functionality on the AI and machine learning side, so that a lot of their use cases can immediately be enabled. However, we are also giving them the ability to develop a niche AI model which works for their own use case. So they retain all what makes them unique, and they don't have to do the part that literally everybody else is also doing. So yeah, overall feedback has been pretty great.
Thank you so much, Kshitij and Aditya. We'll see you in the next AMA session.